Right. Is there like a tutorial? Oh, here we go. Right. Start the tutorial. After remaining neutral for several years, America is prodded into action by sunken ships and a disturbing telegram. I definitely think it is probably a good idea to do the tutorial. Especially since this is a strategy game. Americans remained neutral throughout most of the First World War, supplying aid but not taking part. However, Germany's increased attacks on American ships began to sway many in the government. When the British revealed the Zimmerman telegram to the Americans, in which Germany offered to return American territory to Mexico if they become allies in the US, it was the last straw. God damn.
I lied about my age and joined up when I was 17. Looking back, I was just a foolish boy looking for glory on the battlefield. The enemy had sunk our ships and tried to turn Mexico against us, and they had to pay. My platoon arrived in France in April of 1918.
Mexico were already
General
against
Pershing organized our troops. My unit was assigned to a French contingent for training, and none of us had any experience with the new way of fighting, and the trench lines were a bit of a shock.
Bonjour! Oh wait, let's just move my camera slightly. There we go. I'm Lieutenant Colonel André Laurent. Welcome to France. I understand you are eager to fight, but this is the Western Front. The trenches are no place for the inexperienced. I mean, that's fair. Okay. I didn't know at the time, but Laurent had been in the Battle of the Somme. You could see a kind of distance in his eyes. Fair enough. Advise reviewing the class. You can click the left and right arrow keys. Okay. I mean, that seems pretty standard. This is the theatre which depicts the Western Front, including regions of France, Belgium, and Luxembourg, and Germany. Each region shows the current controlling faction. Okay. It's divided into hexagonal areas called regions. All regions in the map begin under the control of either the Allied or the Central Powers. Allied nations, regions, hexes are highlighted in blue, central in red. Okay. The front line is where combat happens. Well, you'd hope so. Regions can only initiate attacks on adjacent hexes. As you capture or lose regions, the front line will adjust position. Makes sense. Nation will. Nation will represents the feelings of the home nations towards the war, how likely they are to enlist by war bonds or support the war effort in general. Nation's will is one way to win the game. The first faction to push the enemy to zero, nation will wins. Okay. The second way to win the game is to capture the region containing the faction's capitals. For the Allies, the command HQ is Paris. For the Central Powers, it's Kreuznach. Jesus. Okay, move the camera left and right. Okay, that's easy. Select Paris. There we go. Region stars. Each region has a defensive rating measured in stars. When you attack a region, achieving a great victory removes 1 star. Once the final star is removed, the region becomes yours. 1 star regenerates per turn for the owning faction as long as no combat occurs in the region. What? So we have to fight the same place like 5 or 6 times? Region bonuses. Some regions have inherent bonuses or features. Paris, for example, has both the Command HQ bonus and the Deployment bonus, which means all new French troops begin in the region. You can see any bonuses in the region selection. Okay. Military units can be moved on the map. Units can have different names but act the same way. For example, an infantry corps and tank battalion are both units. Each unit contains a selection of smaller groups called a company. The type of company found in a unit are not always the same. For example, an infantry can contain multiple ones. Okay. He's the square man! Look at this! Oh, wow! He's done fucking squares, hasn't he? He's worked out what a fucking ruler is. Thank you for the raid, TikTok, Steph. That's very kind of you. Hopefully you had a good stream. Objective events are optional requests that grant a reward if completed within the time limit. Objective events are just one type of event that can occur during a campaign. Okay? Intel's expecting a German assault. French command requests that the newly arrived Americans be moved up to reinforce the French forces located at Château-Thierry. Okay. The objective. Okay. Hey Challenger 3, nice to see you. Hopefully you're doing alright today. Must achieve a victory of great victory level in combat to remove a star from a region. When a region is lost, any defenders will retreat to the nearest friendly region. Some units, such as siege artillery, cannot be moved in a retreat and are lost. Okay. Deployments. Remember that each nation has its own deployment region for supplies, as shown in the bonuses section in the region selection pane. The deployment regions are Kruznak for Germany, Paris for France, Calais for Britain, and Le Mureux for America. Okay, so we have Calais up here. Alright. Units are displayed on the maps as stacks. There are 4 types: infantry, tanks, aircraft, and siege artillery. All present units are shown in the region. If click on the unit, will add the unit to move box, while right-clicking adds the entire stack.
Do you have any orders?
Okay, so we do that. Right-clicking on the target will automatically move the selected unit.
Move out!
Whoa! Units. That looked funny. Units on the same stack on the map, even if they're of different nationalities. Whichever nationality is the majority will appear top of the stack. Okay. Château-Thierry. Units attack or move. Units can either move or attack once per turn. Your units can defend whether they moved or attacked. Oh, okay. But if you initiate an attack, only those units that haven't moved can participate. Okay. Makes sense. Mixing units from different nationalities and is the same region can reduce morale. What? There are 3 groups. Britain, Canada, Australia, and India form Group 1. France is Group 2, and America is Group 3. If units from more than one group are in the same region, all units suffer a minor morale penalty. Belgium can stack Groups 1 and 2. The Central Powers do not suffer from Disunity of Command. Great. Oh my god. The events log shows a list of active events and their duration. Clicking on the individual events will display them. Okay. Move 2 French tank battalions to Château-Thierry.
On attend de nouveaux ordres.
So... tank battalions consist of multiple tank companies. Allied tanks are divided into cannon-mounted tanks and machine-gun-mounted. Each battalion will come with at least 1 each. Okay, well this is the air wing. Oh, I already have them selected? Okay. Okay, so we got a bit of will. This is just the tutorial. Why am I attacking, by the way? Gold reserves are used for all purchases on the theater command level. It allows you to purchase new units such as tanks and aircraft, region structures, and use strategic abilities. One of the most important uses is to purchase supply for battles. You are granted additional gold reserves at the start of each turn. Okay. Most objective events do not need to be completed on the turn they're assigned. You usually have 3 to 5 turns to complete them. Okay. So reinforce French troops at Montmiral. Capture Châtillon-sur-Marne. Okay. Selecting a region displays a lot of information. Yeah, no shit. For enemy regions, however, much of that information is hidden to you. Okay. No, I don't think he did Sargeman. Espionage missions allow you to send spies to connect enemy regions or protect your own directly. Region intel reveals enemy economics and structure information. Army intel reveals enemy units. Both missions are initiated from your own regions and affect all adjacent ones. Okay. So if I use this... So they have 4 infantry corps, 2 infantry corps, and a tank battalion. Okay. Asked how to get one of those non-Roman names. Turns out he didn't know that those Chinese letters were what Chinese letters. God damn. Well, he does now. Active Army Intel will allow you to see the exact unit counts, while Active Army, the numbers below the icon show how many turns the ability remains. Yep, okay. So the remaining and stack in... What with this?
Stand by for orders.
Okay.
We're moving.
Oh, you want me to go here? I mean, okay. You can't purchase more infantry corps. They're granted via campaign progression or events. However, you can use gold to purchase tanks, aircraft siege, and stuff. Click the purchase menu to open. Oh, this? Okay. Oh shit, French tank battalion. Okay.
Restez en position.
Right, now move to Montreal. Aircraft stack in Paris. Looks like we're just throwing everything at Montreal right now. Supply and structures. Okay, select Montreal. Siege artillery and unique units in that they do not appear in the battlefield. Instead, they allow you to use siege bombardment in battles. Do not affect the Disunity of Command. Any siege artillery still in a region when it's captured will be lost. Okay. So, counterintelligence is an espionage you can apply to your own regions. It lasts for 5 turns and prevents all enemy espionage. I mean, okay. What did that say? Counterintelligence does not suffer from risk, it always works, but loses duration when it succeeds. Okay. Supply is the currency used during battles. Supply is used to build trenches and other defenses, to call in reinforcements and to activate abilities. Each unit on the strategic map grants a set amount of supply to the region. This is refreshed for each battle. Okay. Supply depot. Jesus, there's so many things here. Supply depots allow you to pull from the global supply bank to supplement a supply for your units as one of the most important structures you can build. They're essential if you want to bring the full might of your army to bear. Okay. There are 6 different structures available in the campaign, each have its own bonuses. All of them have multiple levels that increase power as you upgrade. Okay. Why is this flashing? You can take as many actions as you like during your turn. Once you have done everything you want, click End Turn. The turn indicator will switch to the enemy. You'll be able to perform anything you want. Okay. The enemy AI is the same available actions as you do. You will move troops, purchase supply. Why is this decreasing? Plan attacks and research new tech. Your ability to see what the AI player is doing will depend on how you've used espionage missions. Okay. Ooh. Similar to the player, the AI will use espionage abilities on their turn. So remember to use counterintelligence on your staging grounds and important targets to propag the AI extra knowledge. Just like a human player, the AI will probe the espionage to see where you're weak. You can use this as an indication of where attacks will happen. Oh. Yeah, it can attack your territories on its turn, which will put you on the defensive. Each front, the line between the hexes will use a different map. Oh my god. Okay. When you're able to see the total sides and see what you are bringing to the battle, you will only be able to see exactly the enemy is bringing in if you have an active army intel espionage mission active. Okay. The deployment pan will show you a great deal of information about the upcoming battle, including the region, who is the attacker and special modifier. One of the most important things is the available supply, which is broken down into corps supply and your supply draw. Remember that without a supply depot in the region, your supply draw will be 0. If you find battles to be too difficult, try adding or upgrading the region's supply depot. Okay, so we have 1085 and also maximum supply draw, total available supply. Okay. The auto-resolve likely outcome shows you the range of win levels your battle will fall into if you auto-resolve the battle. Auto-resolve simulates the battle based on force numbers and random elements. The more even a battle is, the better it is to fight the battle directly so that your skill and good decisions play more of a part. Makes sense. The attacker must pay a supply cost to initiate a battle, while defense is free. The attacker always has the option to cancel an attack before it begins. The defender can concede a battle, taking the loss without casualties. Okay. One of the French towns received the Légion d'honneur. Château-Thierry has seen its share of battles in both the Napoleonic Wars and First World War. Okay. We have flame troops. Jesus. So they're attacking our lines, I'm guessing. Oh. Adjutant Chief Garnier. Lieutenant Colonel Laurent has spoken highly of you Americans and your abilities to get things done. All battles begin in the pre-battle phase, which allows you to set up your trench line and initial troop placements before starting the actual battle. The map's divided into 3 sectors. Each faction has their home territory where they can build and deploy. Oh my god. Where they can build and deploy between the no man's land where nothing can be built. Holy shit. The camera controls the battlefield. Yep. On your first time fighting in a specific location, the battle will begin with a few pre-placed trenches. You are free to use them or replace them as you see fit. Any trenches you build will remain in place in all future battles in that location unless they're destroyed or you lose control of the region. Okay. So it's quite important to build properly then. Objects such as weapon emplacements, artillery batteries, and observation balloons do not persist between battles and will need to be rebuilt each time. We've automatically added a few for this battle to save some time. Okay. Beside the player, the enemy trenches also persist between battles and can be updated during the pre-battle phase. So it's really important to get them right first. First things first then. This means that your knowledge of the enemy lines from battle to battle can become outdated. Using scouts or observation balloons to view the enemy lines can reduce casualties. Control points are primary focus of the battle, with the goal being to secure as many as possible. Makes sense. Control points have a capture radius You can view by hovering over the mouse. Okay. Command trenches are special control points that can only be captured by entering the trench itself. Just being near it have no effect. Okay. Good morning, Donny B. Nice to see you. Infantry assigned to the command trench are completely immune to damage from the outside. Oh. In addition, the command trench is immune to siege artillery blasts. However, infantry stationed inside cannot fire at targets outside. Oh, okay. Building and deploying troops requires supply. The total supply you have in battle is determined by the number of units and the supply depot level in the region and the world map. 25% of your total available supply is reserved for when the battle starts, so you can have some supply for artillery fire and reinforcements. Okay. In general, trenches protect your infantry from harm and allow them to move on the battlefield in relative security. There are multiple levels and types. Okay. Oh my god. There's basic firing trenches, improved firing trenches, and advanced ones. A blockhouse trench. A comm trench. Jesus. Good evening, Blinex. Nice to see you, man. Hopefully you're doing alright today. Okay, click this. So these are the trenches I already have. Okay. So if I put one there. While in placement mode, you can place as many of the same objects as you want. When you're done, right click to exit in placement mode and choose another place to place. I mean, you're literally not letting me. Yeah, my camera's stuck. So just learned that there's a grieve in the federal department, but my tax money. There's a grieve? What do you mean? You can upgrade previously placed by placing higher level versions. Okay. Okay. Comm trench. Best use of communication trenches. Connect two lines of firing trenches. If you place a comm trench on one end is connected to nothing, likely won't be of much use. Okay, so we want to do that. And then probably... no. Because this could hold up to 5 infantry companies. Jesus. Support structures. While the trench persists and forms the backbone of a good layout, support structures need to be placed in every battle. While more expensive, they're vital for good defense and defense. Okay, yeah, but can you let me move the camera, please? No? Okay, cool. There are 2 types of weapon emplacements. Machine guns are deadly against infantry, especially if they overlap and create kill zones. Mortars are better against tanks, but can also target infantry trenches, even your own. Well, I'm guessing I would put them on the front line. Both machine guns and mortars have 2 versions, standard and reinforced. Reinforced versions have a much higher health pool and are more resistant to artillery and grenade firing. This comes at a higher supply cost, so weigh the likelihood of attacks versus cost when they're making choices. I mean, okay. Barbed wire. Barbed wire seems pretty useful. Barbed wire slows infantry to a crawl, allowing you more time to fire at them. As enemies pass through, they damage the wire until eventually it will snap and be destroyed. Wire can also be destroyed by artillery, bombs, and crushed by tanks. Your infantry are immune with all the effects of your own barbed wire, but your tanks will crush when they pass through it. Razor wire is more deadly cousin to barbed wire. Razor wire acts exactly the same as barbed wire, but additional damage. Okay. Balloons are special objects that can be raised to reveal a large area. Okay, that makes sense. So we probably want that near the back, right? Like here, maybe? No, a little bit further forward. Okay. Command cap's the limit of how many units you can place onto the field. Okay. Oh, I can move again. Thank Christ. There's a strike going on in the federal department right now. Not sure it will affect the country though. Oh. Yeah, there's a bunch of strikes. We'll see what goes on. If a unit uses command cap, it appears in the unit tray. Okay. Click the portrait and select the company while double clicking. We'll select it and send to the
Préparez-vous,
camera.
soldats. Préparez-vous à recevoir les ordres de tir.
Okay. Artillery is a special unit that, while immobile, can use multiple abilities and fire across the battlefield. Artillery batteries are visible in the unit's tray and take up command cap. They are very powerful and are such more expensive to field than artillery. Okay. Well, they can just like fire the whole map, I see. You have an arc of fire. When placing them, you can see the minimap. As the trenches, you can use the mouse wheel. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I don't think I would want to do that. Troop deployment. Okay. Infantry companies cost less supplies to deploy in pre-battle, but they must be placed in trenches. In addition, infantry placed during pre-battle may be subjected to siege artillery barrages before the battle starts. The cheaper cost, the starting advantage must be weighed against the risks. Okay. National bonus. Allies. For the Allies faction, infantry companies have a nationality bonus which grants a unique modifier. You can see the modifier by selecting a company and viewing the info on the tooltip. Home advantage. Infantry companies cost less supplies to field as reinforcements. Tank fans. Infantry gain better morale, bonuses and less penalties when around any tanks. Okay. Ooh. In the pre-battle phase, infantry can only be placed into trenches. As with other objects, clicking the infantry button enters placement mode, and you can place multiple companies.
Reporting for duty.
Place 7 more? Sure.
Reinforcements reporting. Reinforcements ready. We've arrived and await orders. Looks like we're late to the party. Reporting for duty. Reinforcements reporting.
Okay. Specialist units have smaller company sizes, but make up for it by having more health and morale than normal infantry. Raiders or grenadiers for German, flamethrowers or stormtroopers. Jesus. 2 American squads? Sure. I mean...
Reporting for duty. Reinforcements
should
reporting.
probably stick them in here so they don't blow up. Tanks cost less to place pre-battle phase. Unlike infantry, tanks can be placed anywhere in friendly territory. Pre-battle bombardment is available if you have siege artillery in the region. It's useful to clear enemy trenches to support your attacks. Can potentially destroy the trenches themselves. Because of the high cost and randomness of fire, it's best used if you're the attacker and are planning a massive assault. Okay. True, Donny. How you spend your supply in pre-battle is a key element of the game. Any supply you do not spend in pre-battle will be added to the reserve once the battle starts. You must balance the need to have more defenses built in pre-battle versus the need for reinforcements, artillery, aircraft, and other abilities. Jesus. Okay. There's so much going on. Hey, Creeper Killer, nice to see you. Hopefully your ear's better. Hopefully life's good.